Hello and welcome to yet another episode of the series. Today we will take up yet another book by Sri Chatambi Samuel. Last time we discussed compassion, and I concluded it by saying that if only we follow his principles, there won't be any Putins or Trumps or Netanyahus in this world. This time the topic is the right to the Vedas. This is also naturally a work that is more than 100 years old. During those days, the learning and reciting of Vedas was restricted to a particular community, the Brahmin community only. They argued that women and Shudras, especially women and Shudras, cannot even touch the Vedas. They can neither learn it nor even listen to the recital of the Vedas. In support of this claim, they used to cite a Sanskrit saying, and this Sanskrit saying did not have any backing from our scriptures, either the Shrutis or the Smritis. It was against this discrimination based on caste and gender that the Swamiji wrote this book. And this book, when it was made public, it made such a big impact on the society that it almost shook up the society. One of the leading lights of the spiritual lights of the time, after seeing the fiery nature of the contents of this work, is said to have wondered how the paper on which it is written didn't catch fire. It was the genesis of this book, in fact. While writing this book, it turned out to be a broad indictment of not only caste discrimination, gender discrimination, but also on the many objectionable matters the Vedas contained. And even it called into question the authorship of the Vedas. These were subjects nobody dared touch those days. It is believed that Vedas are of divine origin. They are said to be the directly revealed word of God. He contests this claim by citing the fact that sages Pururavas and Sanal Kumara have contributed to the contents of the Vedas. He also points to sage Brihaspati, who rails against those who made wrong assertions into this sacred text. To demolish the statement that Brahmins alone could learn the Vedas or read the Vedas, Swamiji cites instances from Brihadaranyaka and Chandogya Upanishads, in which Brahmins are being taught by Kshatriyas. Then how is it that Kshatriyas were able to learn the Vedas to the extent that they could teach the same to the Brahmins in the first place? Instances of Brahmins get taught by Kshatriyas are sage Gargya learning from Ajatashatru, Uddalaka from King Ashwapati, Shvetaketu and his father Gautama from King Prabhakana, sages Shuga and Ashtavakra from King Janaka. If Shudras can't be taught the Vedas, he asks, how is it that Janashruti, a Shudra, was taught by Raikva and Jabala by Gautama? He cites the story of Kavasha, who was first driven away from the site of an yajna because he was a low-born, and he later becomes a Brahmin and proceeds on the scale up to become a rishi even. Here the Swamiji finds fault, joins issues with even Jagadguru Sri Shankara, who labors to prove that Janashruti was not a born Shudra. He debunks Shankara's arguments in this regard by quoting from Shankara's own Brahma Sutra. On this question of gender discrimination, or on the question of denial of the Vedas to women, he demolishes the argument by citing cases of how Gargi, a woman, matched her wits with Yajnavalkya in a spiritual debate, and how Maitreyi, a consort of Yajnavalkya himself, prefers spiritual knowledge to material wealth. He refers to well-known Vaishnava saints who are of low birth. He also says the mothers of sage Vyasa and sage Parashara were of low birth. He also asks how among the sons of Vyasa, namely Pandu, Dhritarashtra and Vidura, the first two, namely Pandu and Dhritarashtra, happen to be Kshatriyas, and Vidura happens to be a Shudra. But all the three were learned in the Vedas. He quotes from Vajrasujika Upanishad, which says that all those people who are born in this world are first born as Shudras. And subsequently, on the basis of their conduct, their character, and their aptitudes and their profession, they are declared as Brahmins or other belonging to other classes. So from all this, it becomes evident the first ever major assault on the social injustices was made by Sri Chatambi Swami. It is not surprising that one of his main devotees, namely Narayana Guru, was emboldened to take up the mantle of this movement which Swamiji had started. This, the presentation, is a very drastic condensation of this book. Those who want to read the entire book in English translation can get the book from Vidyadhiraja International, Vallikundam, Alapi district, Kerala. It is titled Right to Learn the Vedas, a Critic.